It's Laura here from Hyperstamper. Welcome back. This is a very pretty little journal. It is from 1907 called Juliet in England. I rescued this book. It was in pretty bad shape. You can still see some splits here, but they're safe. They're glued down very well. And it had no picture. Somebody had come along over the years and peeled the picture here off. So I replaced it with a 1915 image from Girl's Own Annual. And I think it just fits in there perfectly. A woman with the old typewriter and her pad of paper there. So I thought that was perfect for a journal. And I just added some laces and ribbons that match the cover here and a vintage faux crystal there that came from a little chandelier. And this is antique lace up here. I love it. So let me show you the inside of this journal, where everything inside here, every single piece is authentic, antique and vintage ephemera, all of the inserts, everything. There's no commercial products anywhere in here. And this will go in my Etsy shop momentarily at hyperstamper.etsy.com, and everything in North America has free shipping included in the price. So they're really, really inexpensive. So let me show you the original first plate here, which is lovely. And there's the original first page and the publisher's page here. Copyright 1907, and then this is a vintage sewing book instruction book page. Here's another antique plate from a different book, which I love, and that's about 100 years old. This is a vintage botanical page. This one is on grasses and leaves, and this is from a roll of vintage ribbon that I pulled off and I wanted to reuse. And just some really fun antique clusters here. This is from 1925 on how to do shadow puppets. Isn't that fun? Some child used some crayon down here, but I left it because it shows that the book was well loved by a child somewhere in the last 100 years. I just love, look at the teacher one. Isn't that great? Oh my gosh, so fun. Now in here I put a plate, and this is, sorry, this one I believe is a Pisario, and it is a vintage book on artwork. And a little journaling spot here in antique paper, and here as well. I love this from an old book I pulled out, Stories of Long Ago. This is a vintage 1950s original bingo card. I love the aging around it. You can have lots of fun upcycling that. And look at this, is one of the best ones from the Arborite Counter Company. They still call it Arborite to this day from this company, and this is from the 40s. And it's a double-sided one, so a very rare sample where they were double-sided. And isn't that awesome? So tons of fun. 1920s banknote here. Really fun cluster with a vintage button, and this is from the 1920s. This is a sweet little fuzzy cardstock book page, and I put antique paper on the back of that as well for extra journaling space. Don't forget to journal in all the white spaces when you're junk journaling. It doesn't have to be a blank page ever. There's a beautiful piece of a crochet table runner, and here is from a children's book from the 30s, and then a very old vintage music sheet, vintage stamp here, and a vintage newspaper piece. And look at this, is really cool. This photograph is from the early 1960s, but it is from London, England, and it is from a play that was put on, and that would have been the news release photograph there. So that's kind of cool, right? Vintage page there from the 20s, and this one's from the 30s. Where is Little Rabbit? Oh, I have so much fun making these, you just have no idea. This plate here is from the early 1900s, pre-1910, and this is from the 1920s. And this is very cool map from a geography book, and that is the North Polar region. I mean, you could cut that out, trim it up, and frame it. It's beautiful. I love it. That is a 1953 receipt, Paulo Cake Specialties, and that one is from Somerville, Massachusetts. And here we have a lovely double blank antique book page, Woman Tenderfoot. There's some really great images there, but lots of scrap paper there to journal on. And then this here, that's from Tony's scrapbook, the 1934-35 edition. I just love the bright orange color. So I turned that into a cluster instead of throwing it out. And here is a wonderful magazine page here from the 1950s, 1959. And look at paper crafts. Well, that's what I'm all about. So that's pretty cool. And then some really great ads on the other side. So a really fun piece there. pearl shop receipt from the 50s that you can pull out and journal on. Antique book page here. This is 1880. This would have been some notes taken down, probably on political issues. There we go, and old stories. And that is from a children's book page from the 30s, 1950s, Theater World magazine page. Really, really cool plays listed there. This is another children's book page, things for learning. And this is from 1937. This would have been a student's project. And this one's on a mushroom, how a mushroom is grown. And I love it. And you'll notice on here the marks where they used to be duotang reinforcers of cloth. So that's something I remember, not that I'm born in 1937, but that is the original spine from this book that I used to make into a belly band. I do that as often as I can. This is 1955 Polish embroidery plate, and it's the paper quality in this book is so fantastic, and whoever did the photography was brilliant. They're really, really good. Another plate here from the early 1900s. Isn't that wonderful? English literature book. And a guinea pig and a dog. This is also from a school book. You can tell from the card that is from the 1940s. And there is one of the blank pages from this book, Juliet in England. This is from the vintage 1965 card game Payday. And some vintage Monopoly money there. I made a pocket out of that table runner as well. More crochet book pages. And then you can flip this out because this is just the loveliest little poem here. Bed and Goodnight, learning those things, and a little journaling spot there as well. And then this is a 1955 Highway Road Map Atlas of America. So really cool. I just love these old maps. They make me very happy. This is a 1955 post stamp collector's book page. So I've added some of my own vintage stamps there. And here is another fantastic postcard. I know it looks brand new because it's so glossy, but it is actually from the 1940s, and that makes it pretty darn cool. How neat is that? And that is from Barcelona, that one. 1930s children's book page. We've got the raccoons there. I love raccoons. Little child here who numbered all these children's book pages, which is quite sweet. And I love this, the Little Bird set. There's a lovely little poem there. And then Robin Hood page here, and I made this little booklet here. I used a page title there, The Happy Time, and I just included some of my scrap vintage pages. And a little tuck spot here you can put something in. So it's like a journal within a journal. And then that just brings us to the last few pages of the book. So that's it. I hope you like it as much as I liked making it. And it's in hyperstamper.etsy.com. Talk to you soon.